I chair the Press Freedom Committee here at the Foreign Correspondents Club. This is a private event here today. It's not sponsored by the FCC, just to make that clear. But I'm here to see that you're all cared for, because that's one of the things we do, to be sure that the press is cared for. That the sound boxes are plugged in and working, and that everything is organized. In a moment, I'm going to turn it over to Ed Chin for the program. He will moderate, and the questions will all be handled by them. But if you do have any questions about physical arrangements or anything, or any comments, you can bring them to me afterwards about the arrangements. There are also some refreshments and things for members of the press sitting at the table over by the sound boxes. So without any further ado, and underlining that this is their own event, I turn it over to Ed Chin. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you. Well, I guess some of you probably noticed that the column that I write for Hong Kong Economic Journal was axed this Monday, September 1st. Now, the reason why we call this press conference, first of all, is to talk about why this happened. But more importantly, as a person doing absolute return trading strategies while also writing columns to get my pro-democracy motives known in a forceful way, I have to let people know why this happened. And it's press freedom getting worse and worse in Hong Kong. You know, like, do we have like something what we call like a Beijing influence? And also, lastly, we will be talking about a worldwide marketing campaign that we have from OCLP Finance and Banking Group, which we are going to put up next week, appearing in the major newspapers. We also have here together with me Professor Seng Meng from Hong Kong UST. Professor Seng Meng will talk more about press freedom, and especially the communist influence over Hong Kong. Do we still have room for press freedom? So that's important. Now, I guess I would say this in English first for the press who do it in English. I already mentioned that I got the column was axed on Monday, but I received an email from someone by the name Johnson C. last Friday evening, right before midnight, saying that thank you for your service. Now, due to some column redesign, your service is no longer needed. Effective September 1st, meaning this past Monday, I don't need to contribute any article to Hong Kong EJ. Now, I had the privilege to work with Mr. and Mrs. Lam, the founder of Hong Kong Economic Journal, way back in 2006, when Mrs. Lam invited me for a chat at Ritz-Carlton Hotel together with another EJ executive. She was interested to know about what is hedge funds, what is long short, what is arbitrage, and because at that time it was like pre-2008, so before the Lehman crisis, a lot of people want to know how you can trade like a hedge fund, stuff like that. So I tell Mrs. Lam, other than these trading strategies, is there anything I can write? And she said, just follow your heart, Ed. This is what she said. And then we started this relationship back in 2006. First week of July, my first piece appeared at Hong Kong EJ. Now, at first it was from a quarter page, and suddenly it became a half page column every Monday, non-stop, except if it is a statutory holiday, then I got a break. It's not easy, really, like to write a 2,000 to 3,000 words column every single Monday, I mean, to be submitted on Sunday. Now, I have a 3.5-year-old boy now, and it gets even tougher when I have to perform my duty. You know, probably it takes about 10 hours to finish that, and my wife doesn't like it because it's long, and I miss my Sunday school, you know, bringing the kid to play soccer, things like that. If you guys are parents, you know what I mean by that. So from trading strategies and whatnot, the last 2 years probably you realize the political scene has changed quite a lot, and I have to focus more on what needs to be written, meaning that the readers of Hong Kong Economic Journal, I'm in the B section. B section meaning business, but business and current affairs, politics, these things are all intertwined together. So I feel I'm obliged to write more about the current affairs, what's going on in Hong Kong. Now, let me declare that I am the organizer for Occupy Central, the finance and banking group. And I even use my office to host these events as of March of last year. But before that, there was another incident that the DBC, Digital Broadcast Corp, there were some internal management issues. And I also host once a week a program there. Albert Chang and Morris Ho, they were the founders, and I did write about things like, hey, is there issue about whether there's a Beijing influence over press freedom? So Hong Kong people, they like gossipy stuff. Some of them might understand a bit about long short, but arbitrage, these things are a little bit complicated. But anyways, to make a long story short, the column, it's got 3,000 words, so you have everything inside of the column, not just finance, but the focus is on the pro-democracy movement recently. Now, there has been some management change. Probably you realize that as well. The former editor-in-chief of Hong Kong EJ, I hope Casey just arrived. Oh, he arrived already? Hi, thanks for showing up. I even got this prepared for Q&A. Became the CEO of Hong Kong EJ Online, and please support Hong Kong EJ Online. Okay, it's a very good editorial piece, and people should support also the Hong Kong EJ print edition. Some of the columnists I like, definitely the founder, Lam Sam, Mr. Lam, and Joseph Lin. They write very good articles about basically political commentary. Make a long story short, I go back to why my column was slashed. There's a guy by the name of Johnson C. Kong, who sent me an email saying that my service is no longer needed. I sent an email to Alice Kwok, which I don't think she will show up today, or neither does Johnson C. I don't think he will show up either. Give me an explanation, because if you need to add a column, and I think this In the Circle of Finance is the name of the column, it's probably one of the most widely read columns inside Hong Kong EJ. So please give me an explanation. No explanation is given. So yesterday I shoot her an email, meaning Alice again, copying Johnson. What the heck is going on? But I also have to copy one of the founders, Mrs. Lam, and also Casey, who represents the Hong Kong EJ Online. So regrettably, Alice Kwok didn't show up. And I realized that also this Johnson C., who works only part-time at, I think, but you could verify it with Casey if Casey wants to speak. But Casey is not speaking on behalf of Alice Kwok. Let's make sure it's very clear. that this Johnson C's wife, Carmen Poon, is actually the campaign manager for CY Leung. Okay, and they do have a lot of connection. And I'm just using my normal hedge fund manager instinct, due diligence instinct, and also a little bit of journalistic, investigative instinct. I think the reason why my column was axed was because of political pressure, definitely from Beijing, and then it carries on to the Hong Kong government, and then they have to exit like this, and that's why she didn't even dare to respond to whatever I wrote to her. It's a very sad day. Of course, you know, life still goes on. I think, you know, what is said is that the Hong Kong EJ used to be a highly regarded newspaper. I've been reading it, you know, like since I can't even remember. You know, it's you know, you got Cao Yanqiu that he is recovering from his health issues. You know, these people who contribute to this newspaper, they do it with heart. But I know business is business. When Richard Lee took over this newspaper, currently they have a different management structure, and probably some of you in the media would know that Joseph Lien, the former editor-in-chief of Hong Kong EJ's column, was modified, quote-unquote modified, by Alice Hua, because some of the content was too sensitive. Maybe it's an attack to CY himself. Now, my question is, if we all have to kowtow, if we cannot speak what we want to say, like truly, then we will just be another Beijing mouthpiece. And Hong Kong is under political low pressure right now. And you know, I myself, since committed to the OC LP movement, more focusing on the finance side, definitely there has been a lot of inconvenience that is brought to my personal life and also in my working life, but I could bear that. But the reason why I host this press conference is because I'm also a committee member of the Press Freedom at the Foreign Correspondents Club, and also a member of a Hong Kong Journalists Association. Unfortunately, they haven't made the statement yet, but thank you for the Independent Commentators Association. When that happened Monday, they issue a statement right away on Monday evening to raise the awareness. You know, it's a red flag signal right now going on. So what's the future hold for Hong Kong EJ? I already made my stance that keep on supporting Hong Kong EJ, both print and also to the online. But I would say that read more from the online thing, because the editorial board, from my understanding, it's separate. Now, what is said is that the Hong Kong EJ print edition, when used to be you could speak truly and freely, under the new management that's brought in, definitely now is owned by Richard, that I think, you know, whenever there's something pro-democracy, you have something pro-establishment, just next to the pro-democracy columnist. So it makes it, doesn't look like the EJ that we used to know. And then, like, if we want to criticize the establishment, whatever you wrote will be edited. I mean, it's a sad story for journalism, for Hong Kong, and it's a sad story for media. I think what is coming up next, though, it's this harmonization. The Beijing government would like to harmonize all mainstream media, and the next attack, so to speak, will be on the what I call the new media. Now, if you are here, friends from the media, please spread the word out, meaning that uphold whatever is left, meaning the D100s of the world, post 852. These are like the new media. And also, I guess in part 2, I will talk about the worldwide marketing campaign that we have for OCLP. But I also would like Casey Jan to, just if he feels like, to say a few words later. I got the tag for you, Casey, but only if you feel like. But it's for Alice, but Alice doesn't have the guts to show up, so it's a sad. Am I mad? No, I have my blessings to her because I know she is working, and she has a long history for working for these, what I call the most powerful people. And then, but as editor-in-chief, I am disappointed because there has to be some sort of professional courtesy, right? Because if you carry the hat of editor-in-chief, you need to have the professional courtesy to respond to a strategic partner. Edward Chin has written for Hong Kong EJ for the last 8 years, and this is my 9th year. And it's so sad to see, like Hong Kong EJ fall into a situation like this. In part 2, I can also honestly tell you that when the lambs come back from the holidays, even our group, we have been toying with the idea about capitalizing on something, a new Hong Kong EJ, a new Sun Bo, where you could speak the truth, and but we want all people who write for EJ, if they feel that they are under pressure, to have this meeting. I mean, it's not me. I mean, I really want to say thank you to her too, because I got more time to drive my kid to Sunday school. So if you know what I mean. But then again, I feel unfair that Hong Kong EJ fall into this situation when there's a severe self-censorship, and then they send people from the government to kill, to axe, calling this A or B, and it's going to get worse, believe it or not. I'm going to ask Professor Sing Meng to carry on for now, because otherwise this will be exceed the 4:30 limit. Well, I'm a technology dinosaur. Can someone help me out again? Just move to